Our second test that we're going to run on this consultant salaries data is about whether men and women receive the same raises on average. We're going to do this with a t-test as well, but let's open up a new t-test so that we don't lose the old one in case we wanted to go back to it. This is going to be a two-sample t-test, because what we're going to do is we're going to treat the raises of men and raises of women as being separate data sets. We'll test if the mean raises, the average raises, are the same within each of those two data sets. Those raises are in our data as this raise variable, so we'll select that as our analysis variable. But then this is grouped into men and women. So we will choose our groups variable to be gender. This is going to then, on our options page, allow us to test the difference between the mean for men, labelled mu1 here, and the mean for women, labelled mu2. This is going to be a two-sample t-test, because we've got a sample of men, a sample of women, and our alternative hypothesis here is that the difference between these two means is equal to 0, that is, that the two means are equal. Okay, that's all we need to do. Let's hit run and see what our output is. Just as before, it's going to give us a couple of tests for normality. We can ignore those and scroll down to our output from our t-test. We find that we had 58 women with an average raise of 7.31%, 72 men with an average of 7.82% raise, and our t-test for testing whether or not these are different is located down here. Now we've got a couple of different t-tests actually, and these differ depending on on the assumption that we make about the standard deviation or variance of the two groups. If we decide that we're going to believe they're equal, we should use this pooled t-test here. If we believe that we should treat them as different, we should use the Satterthwaite one here. Typically, it's not going to make a big difference unless the sample sizes are very, very different or the standard deviations here are very, very different. So if we treat these as being equal, we get a t-statistic of minus 1.9. If we treat them as being unequal, we get a t-statistic of minus 1.89. Either way, we are just outside that magic 5% range. So we would conclude that we just don't quite have enough evidence to say that there is a difference in raises between men and women.